Right, hi everyone. So for today's DTSE Tech Talk session, I'll be sharing with you guys about the CCE, which is the Cloud Container Engine. Right, making cloud environments easy to build. This is today's topic. So we will be discussing about the containerized application using Huawei Cloud CCE. Okay. So for today's session, it consists of 4 main sections, which is the first one, we will be having an introduction to Kubernetes. Secondly, we will have Huawei Cloud CCE service introduction. And then we will have a short technical walkthrough. And lastly, we will have Q&A session. All right. So before I start today's DTSC session, let me show you on the Huawei Cloud Developer. So here. All right. So this is Huawei Cloud website. All right. So later on at the technical walkthrough session, I will be showing you Labs, which is Huawei Cloud's sandbox environment where you can try on Huawei Cloud services free of charge. Of course, in order to access this service, you need a Huawei Cloud account. Okay, so what you can do is that you can visit Huawei Cloud official website, and then at the upper right corner, you will see sign in and sign out button. So just click it to register. All right, so let me show you this. So this is a manual, or you can say a tutorial. It's a very simple tutorial. 3 steps to become a Huawei Cloud developer. So this link will be provided down in the description box. So yeah, you can follow these 3 steps to register a Huawei Cloud account. All right. Okay, so now let us start with today's topic. So just a moment, let me share my screen. Okay. Oh. Okay, cool. All right, so now let us start with the introduction to Kubernetes. Okay, so what is Kubernetes? So as you can see, Kubernetes K8 is a container-centric management software. So it has become the de facto standard to deploy and operate containerized application. Okay, so you can see Kubernetes K8. So the K8 actually stands for the Kubernetes, the shortened with the 8 standing for the numbers of the letter between K and S. So we call it as K8. Okay, so Kubernetes makes everything associated with deploying and managing your application easier, providing automated container orchestration. So Kubernetes improves your reliability and reduce the time and resources attributed to daily operation. Okay, so why Kubernetes? So why we need to use Kubernetes? So there are a few advantages for using the Kubernetes. So you can see here is automated operation, infrastructure abstraction, and lastly, monitoring. Okay, so let me elaborate on these 3 benefits. Okay, so for the first one, Kubernetes has built-in commands to handle a lot of heavy lifting that goes into application management. So it allows you to automate day-to-day operation. So you can make sure applications are always running the way you intended them to run. Kubernetes automates operational tasks of container management and includes built-in command for deploying application, rolling out changes to your application, scaling out your application up and down to fit the changing needs, monitoring your application, and more. All right, so for the second one, the infrastructure abstraction. So when you install the Kubernetes, it actually handles the compute, networking, and also storage on behalf of your workloads. So this allows the developer to focus on application and not worry about the underlying environment. As for the monitoring, the service health monitoring. So Kubernetes continuously run health check against all your services. So restarting all the containers that fail or have stalled, and only making available services to user when it has confirmed they are running. All right. So now you have the knowledge about the Kubernetes. You might ask, so what is this Kubernetes for? Okay, so what actually this K8 is used for? So as you can see at the diagram here, so Kubernetes is used to create applications that are easy to manage and deploy anywhere. When available as a managed service, Kubernetes offers you a range of solutions to meet your needs. Here are some of the common use cases. All right. So Kubernetes helps you to build cloud-native microservices-based application. It also supports containerized of existing apps, thereby becoming the foundation of application modernization and letting you develop apps faster. Then Kubernetes is built to be used anywhere, allowing you to run your application across on-site development and public clouds, as well as hybrid development in between. So you can actually run your application where you need them. All right. So the next one. All right. So when we talk about Kubernetes, we talk about the containerized application. All right. So often misunderstood as a choice between one or the another, Kubernetes and Docker are different yet complementary technologies for running containerized application. So you can see here, this is a diagram. So we have virtual machines and then containers. So for the left one, this is the previous architecture, the old architecture where everything is using a VM. Okay, we have multiple virtual machines and we have the guest OS operating system, and then the application is within the VM. All right, so for nowadays, we are using containers where we containerize the application, which all of this application is actually parked under a single host, a single operating system, and then we containerize it. Okay, so Docker actually lets you put everything you need to run your application into a box that can be stored and opened when and where it is required. So once you start boxing up your application, you need a way to manage them. So that is what Kubernetes does. Okay, so there are a few points here, which is Kubernetes can use with or without Docker. All right, and Docker is not an alternative to Kubernetes, so it is less of a Kubernetes vs Docker question. It is all about using Kubernetes with Docker to containerize your application and run them at scale. So the difference between Docker and Kubernetes relates to the role each plays in containerizing and running your application. So actually, Docker is an open industry standard for packaging and distributing application in containers. And then Kubernetes uses Docker to deploy, manage, and scale containerized application. So the key difference between containers and virtual machine, as shown in the diagram here, is that virtual machine virtualize an entire machine down to the hardware layer, as you can see here, and containers only virtualize software layers above the operating system level. All right, so when to use virtual machine and when to use containers. So the purpose of virtual machine, historically, virtual machine VM technology was developed to efficiently use increasing physical hardware capacity and processing power. Running a single application environment on a single physical server, underutilized hardware resources, virtual machine allows organization to install multiple OS and create multiple environments on the same physical machine. As for the containers, Containers were created to package and run application in a predictable and repeatable way across multiple environments. Instead of recreating the environments, you package the application to run on all types of physical virtual environments. So this is similar to putting an astronaut in a spacesuit instead of recreating the Earth's atmosphere for them on another planet. All right, so next we'll come to the CCE service introduction, the Huawei Cloud CCE. All right, so what is actually CCE? So what is Cloud Container Engine? As you can see here, the description, CCE is a one-stop platform integrating compute, networking, storage, and many other services. It supports heterogeneous computing architectures such as GPU, NPU, and ARM. So CCE supporting multiple availability zone and multi-region disaster recovery. And also CCE ensure high availability of Kubernetes cluster. So do you know that actually Huawei Cloud is one of the world's first Kubernetes certified service provider? It is the first in China to engage in the Kubernetes community as a constant contributor. Huawei Cloud marks its presence in the container environment ecosystem. It is also a founder and platinum member of Cloud Native Computing Foundation. So CCE is one of the first certified Kubernetes offering in the world. All right, so here, why do we need to use CCE? So why we choose CCE? All right, so do you know that many industries have already begun to use the container services, from startup application, ride e-hailing apps, e-commerce, gaming apps, to tourism, comic, magazine apps, websites, and many more. All right, so CCE is actually highly reliable, high performance service through which enterprises can manage containerized application. So CCE supports elastic application scaling and native Kubernetes application and tools, allowing you to easily set up a container runtime environment on the cloud. So you can see here, I've listed up 6 advantages of the CCE, which is high performance, fast creation, flexible scaling, stateful application, high availability, and open source. So let me quickly go through all these 6 benefits. Okay, so for high performance, so the containers can actually run directly on high performance physical servers. So it delivering performance comparable to physical machines. As for the fast creation, so we are using the SDI technology. So a physical machine can be created just in 5 minutes, and a container cluster can be created just in 6 minutes. So this is actually very fast. So for flexible scaling, the containers network are built from extensive field experience. Application can be automatically scaled in a matter of seconds to meet fluctuating demands. So the bare metal containers deliver huge performance advantage over virtual machine containers. Next, the stateful application. So it supports stateful containerized application. CCE works closely with storage services such as EVS. CCE is compatible with Kubernetes and FSF to provide high available volumes for data persistence. This is suitable for stateful containerized application, which save data or statuses from each session. As for the high availability is set up on both the cluster control plane and cross availability zone. Graceful scale out and scale in of containerized application ensure the high service continuity. So lastly, open source. As you know, CCE is compatible with Kubernetes and Docker native versions. So it incorporates the latest and greatest from the community instantly. So these are some of the popular use of CCE, which is using for microservices, environment independency, and auto scaling. So for microservices, the monolithic application is decoupled into multiple lightweight modules. So each module can be independently upgraded or scaled in quick response to the market changes. As for the environment independency, containers isolate the application from their environment. Then it saves your time from managing a constant environment in development, testing, and O&M phases. So the last one about the auto scaling is that CCE can scale container instances automatically to accommodate the spike in the application load or traffic. Okay, so the next one I will show you is about this. So this is the common enterprise digital transformation. So it consists of 3 phases and 2 shifts. So you can see here at first, in the old days, businesses are using their local server hosted at their own premises. So here, so you can see that it is device centric. So everything is hosted in the server, a local premise server. And then during the shift 1, we're doing the resource automation. We're going into the phase 2, which is cloud. All right, so at the phase 2, going to cloud. So we are focusing on the resource centric, where maybe all or some or maybe hybrid. So some of the resources will go to cloud, where you can see here we have a compute pool. All right, and then within the compute pool we have several virtual machines. All right, so these are the architecture of a few years back. So for nowadays we are entering the shift 2, which is application automation. So we are going into the phase 3, which is cloud native. So in cloud native, we focus on application centric, which is the unified infrastructure, software architecture. So you can see that cloud native, we have the cloud native application enablement. So we can have multiple cloud, multi-cloud, or hybrid, or edge cloud architecture. All right. So this one, for this slide, is a statistic. Okay, it is a statistic of current trends on using cloud native solution with containerized application. Okay, so at the first chart here, you can see it is for 2020. So actually more than 70% of the enterprises have migrated or are doing the migration from virtual machine to containers. Okay, so at the one below here, you can see that by 2020, it is predicted that containers will outnumber VM worldwide. Right, so you can see that people are start using the container rather than the old VM technologies. So here, so you can see that in 2020, all industry use cloud native technologies in form of the containers. So you can see that 78% comes from internet industry, and then finance, education, transport, multimedia, government, and so on. So everyone is migrating to containerized application methodologies. Okay, so same to the last one. All right, so now we will go through a very quick technical walkthrough. So for this technical walkthrough, I will not be going through the technical sandbox session step by step due to the time restriction. So I'll just show you a brief walkthrough for the tutorial for the collapse. All right. So just a moment. Let me change the screen. All right. Okay. Okay, sure. Yeah, so this is the previous one. This is Huawei Cloud official website. So as I mentioned previously, you need a Huawei Cloud account to test on the sandbox environment. So yeah, first you need to make sure that you have registered an account. All right, so let's say you already have an account and you have logged in into account. So here I will introduce you to you on Coolabs. So what actually Coolabs is? So Coolab is a learning platform, okay, provided by Huawei. So on the Coolabs platform, Huawei has provided several courses and classes which you can directly try on all these cloud services or products by Huawei for free. All right, so now I'll show you how you can visit the Coolabs page. Okay, so from the website, okay, you can go to this developer section at the upper menu. All right, so on the extended view, you can go to learn. So just click into it. All right, so once you come inside this Huawei Cloud Developer Institute, you can see Coolabs at the third section. Okay, so click onto it and you can see here, get started with Huawei Cloud Services and complete cloud exercises. All right, so yeah, we need to expand the view by clicking the view more to view more classes. Okay, yeah, so now this is the Coolabs page. You can see there are several pages, okay, several courses for you to try on. And yeah, all of these courses we have categorized them. You can try on if you're interested in databases, then you can go to databases. If you are interested in AI, then you can test on AI courses and many more. Okay, so for today's session, we will we'll be using the CCE. So yeah, it will be under compute. And then yeah, here you can see CCE Kubernetes orchestration. Yeah, so just click onto it. All right, so yeah, you can see here, this exercise guides trainees to perform Kubernetes related operation on CCE, including the orchestration of deployments and daemon sets of the Kubernetes controller. So this particular exercise is actually quite long. Yeah, it will take quite a long time, even though you can see the duration is 60 minutes, but mostly you will use more than that. So yeah, you can see here at the tutorial tab, yeah, you can have a brief look through what you will be able to learn through this session. Okay, so first, of course, you need to prepare the environment. So here it will teach you, it will guide you how to purchase a CCE using the Huawei Cloud. Okay. So next, after you purchase, you will set up the CCE. All right. Then next one, you can see, yeah, it will guide you for ECS. Okay, you need to log into ECS, set up the Kubernetes client. Okay. And then, okay, let me minimize this. Okay. So next one is the Kubernetes component exercise collapse. All right, so it will teach you here, it will teach you how to check the Kubernetes status 2.1. All right. And then next one, deployment exercise. Okay. It will teach you, it will let you try on to do your first deployment on the cluster or nodes. Okay. So next one is daemon set exercise. Okay. So yeah, here it will teach you how to use daemon process controller. Okay. So now how to try on this exercise. So it's very simple. Once you get into this page, okay, you can see here, there's a start exercise button. Right. So what you need to do is just click onto it, and then it will bring you to the sandbox environment. Okay, so here you can see this is the interface of the sandbox environment. All right. So at the top here, you can see tutorial and reports. Okay. So at the reports here, you can see your progress. And then at the upper right, you can see there's this completed percentage and the time. All right. and the end exercise button. Oh, it is weird that this one didn't have the prolong button, but no worries. Alright, so for every sandbox environment, for every exercise, every courses in this collapse, we will actually have this interface. You can see there's exercise interface. So in order to use this sandbox, you need to switch to this interface here. So you can see that at the left side, we have Huawei Cloud exercise account. Okay, so because you'll be using all these Huawei resources for free, so you will not be using the Huawei account that you have registered yourself. Instead, you'll be using this Huawei exercise account provided by us. By using this account, you can try on all these services for free. Okay, so now I will show you how you can log in into this account. All right, so actually we have also prepared a tutorial at the left side here. You can see here. Okay, so what you need to do is just you open the Google Chrome. Okay. All right, so now once you open the Google Chrome, the homepage will directly be at the Huawei login page. Okay, so don't directly log in. So at the bottom here, you need to look for I am user. So you can see here, I am user. So just click onto it. And then here, you can see there are 3 inputs field here. So this is where you key in the exercise account information to log in. All right, so you can just copy it and paste it. Okay, then you can just proceed with login. All right, so once you log in, you can start the tutorial. So actually the tutorial inside this page is actually same as this one you can see outside here. Yeah, so it's actually the same. So yeah, just follow it. First, you need to buy a CCE cluster after logging into the console. So how to do that? Go to service list. Okay, so if you unable to find this service list, you can just click onto these 3 bars here. Okay, you can see my cursor. All right, and then you just search for CCE. So here you can see under the containers category, there's this cloud container engine. So just click onto it. And then, yeah, here will be at the CCE page. So yeah, since this is a new account, a new test exercise account, so you can see that it will be showing that no cluster available. Create a cluster first. Right, so at the left side here, you can see this similar interface. Yeah, so just follow the instruction and then do it and try on. Okay, so there are a few things that you need to keep in mind. That is that for all these collapsed sandbox environment, they are actually quite strict on all this testing and using of all these resources, because it is free of charge. So you can see here, when you are creating any resources or any instances, either for CCE or other collab session, okay, at the tutorial here, we actually provided you all the parameters you need to use when setting up all these instances of services. Okay, so make sure that you follow this parameter. So for example, if it didn't mention you can use user define or use your own name, then it's better for you to follow exactly, like for cluster name, set it to CCE01. So just follow exactly. Why? Because that for some of the sandbox, if you are not following the parameters, okay, so once you created the instances will automatically get deleted or terminated in the next few seconds because the parameter is incorrect. So you need to follow it accordingly. All right, so I'll not go through all of this as it will take a lot of time. Okay, so this is the CCE. Okay, so for some cases, okay, you can see here there's a timer here. So this is actually the time allocated for you to try on this course. Okay. So if the timer is running out, there will be a prolong button for you to click. So make sure you click on the prolong button to prolong the duration. Else, when the time's up, when it's time's up, you will be forcefully get kicked out from this session, and you will not be able to continue it. So, for example, let's say if the time is up and I get kicked off from this session, then when I click the start exercise button, you will need to start from 0 again. It won't save your previous session. So keep in mind that if the time is almost there, make sure you click the prolong button. There will be a button for you to click. Okay. So yeah, if you are done with the exercise, or then you can click the end exercise button. So yeah, click it. Not sure you want to exit. Yeah. Okay. All right. So this will be the CCE Kubernetes orchestration collapse. All right. So now we're back to the slides. All right. So after technical walkthrough, we'll have a 15 minutes Q&A session. So if you have any questions, yeah, feel free to ask on the Q&A session. All right. So that's all for today's session on the CCE. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you on the next DTSE Tech Talk session. Have a good day and goodbye.